Ελένη! Έλα να κάτσεις να κεντήσεις, κόρη μου! Έλα να συνεχίσεις το κέντημα σου.
The centuries-old tradition of lace-making in the village of Cyprus, Lefkara, was revived during a successful program hosted by CYPRECO of America on March 7th at the Stathagion in Astoria, New York. The well-attended event, which was offered with free admission as a public service, included guests from the Greek and Greek Cypriot American community, as well as members from the general audience of all ages. And it featured the screening of an original documentary which examined and highlighted the historical development of this craft, the unique designs and techniques. In addition, an exhibition of Lefkara embroideries and a live demonstration of the craft. The documentary, with English subtitles, lasted for approximately 45 minutes, and it showcased and explained precisely the history of the Lefkara lace embroidery, the ways and methods of the needlework involved, and how these embroideries achieved worldwide reputation and recognition. Furthermore, the film featured and highlighted the last remaining women embroiderers from Lefkara, how the craft evolved through the ages, having gone changes brought about the history of the island, and how it was passed on from one generation to the next. Embroidering the Lefkara lace is time-consuming. It requires patience, dedication, and exceptional talent. In older times, this needlework comprised a vital part of the everyday life of all women in the village of Lefkara. Starting at a very young age, girls would gather with their mothers and grandmothers in the small, narrow streets, in their courtyards, spending endless hours embroidering the Lefkara lace, which was originally an essential part of their dowry and later a big part of their livelihood. It is a craft that expresses their cultural heritage, which evolved over time in response to their environment, and this is evident from the plethora of designs and motifs found in this needlework, which also have very distinct local names, such as Potamos, river, klonoto, branch-like, arachnoti, spider-like, among many others. The Lefkara embroidery is characterized by a geometric pattern with a structure based on the way it is embroidered on the fabric. Basically, it is comprised by the upper field and the cutwork designs, which always follow one another. The upper field designs, usually triangles, are embroidered on the fabric, while the cutwork designs create the whole points of the embroidery. The film also refers in detail to the original traders of the Lefkara lace, the first being a woman in 1903, Alisavou Papaloizou, and how much they contributed in making these laces famous worldwide, and also how the successful trading of the Lefkara lace contributed in boosting the economy of Cyprus in the beginning of the 19th century and thereafter. The beautiful selection of embroideries, which were on display, most of them family heirlooms, were brought by guests who come from Lefkara, who after the screening interacted with the audience and proudly explained the history behind each piece on display, such as who made it, how long it took to make, and the meaning of the designs and motifs. Mrs. Maroulleti, who demonstrated the needlework, was also very entertaining in her presentation and took the time to answer all sorts of questions. The event was addressed by the president of CYPRECO, your host Elena Maroulleti, by the president of the Enosis Lefkaraton of America, John Pappas, and by the president of the Federation of Hellenic Societies of New York, Ilias Tsekeridis. Special thanks were conveyed by your host to all in attendance, to the Enosis Lefkaraton of America for their participation and support, to all guests from Lefkara who brought their embroideries, to the sponsors, and to the Federation of Hellenic Societies for placing the event under their auspices. It was further acknowledged that the event was also part of the Federation's March Cultural Month, which was established to coincide with the festivities of the anniversary of March 25, 1821, Greek Independence Day. It was also stressed that this new production is part of CYPRECO's ongoing commitment of bringing to its diverse audience unique programs which highlight and promote different aspects of the unique heritage, history, folklore, and culture of Cyprus. The importance of the event was also stressed and was noted that these exquisite embroideries, which are very difficult to make and time-consuming, require exceptional talent and devotion, and they highlight techniques which were on passed from one generation to the next. They enjoy worldwide fame and recognition and are part of UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Element Collection. The president of Enosis Lefkaraton, John Pappas, conveyed his most sincere thanks and congratulated CYPRECO and your host for their initiative to promote the village of Lefkara and its unique embroideries to their wide audience, and also shared the good news that this dying craft is now being revived in Lefkara after the recent initiative of the local authorities of the village to include the teaching of the craft in their grammar school curriculum. Referring to the film, Mr. Pappas said it truly captured the true essence of the Lefkara needlework, and at the same time it was very moving because it brought back very unique memories from his village. Mr. Pappas also noted that apart from the embroideries, the people of Lefkara are also famed for producing exquisite silverware with unique designs for their traditional food dish Lefkaridikos tavas, which is one of the most famous dishes all over Cyprus, and for the Lefkara delights. In concluding, Mr. Pappas also presented your host with an honorary plaque on behalf of his organization and members in recognition of her dedication and service to promoting Lefkara and the Cypriot culture. Ilias Tsegeridis, president of the Greek Federation, also congratulated CYPRECO for this new successful folk arts program and stressed that all of CYPRECO's productions are of exceptional importance and they, quote, help us further discover so many different aspects of the rich heritage and culture of Cyprus. The Federation, he further stressed, is very proud to host such important programs at the Cultural Center of the Stathagion and will continue to support CYPRECO because all of its programs are, quote, simply amazing, very informative, and they truly serve their cultural purpose. A printed program was distributed for free to all in attendance, which also included biographical information about the embroideries and Lefkara. This public service event was made possible by Arch Capital Group Incorporated, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Investors Bank, Astoria Federal Savings Bank, and the Cyprus Federation of America. Media sponsors AKTINA FM and AKTINA TV. Maroula, you told us earlier when you were showing us how to do the embroidery that you learned this when you were 12 years old?
I was 12 years old, yes. Everyone in Lefkara, especially the woman, you know, we start the holidays, the summertime. Everybody have the maxillaraki and we sit next to outside in the streets or inside the yard, get in the house, and we start learning the Lefkaridika. That goes for everyone in summertime. Mm-hmm. And slowly, at the beginning you learn the easy ones, and then you start learning more difficult. Yes. But unfortunately, I left Lefkara when I was 23. I didn't have the time and the chance to learn everything that everybody else, learn. Mm-hmm. And I left Lefkara 42 years ago.
Wow. How did you like the documentary?
I love it, really. I saw things that I haven't seen in reality in Lefkara. These things that you showed tonight are so beautiful.
Did you recognize any of the women doing the embroideries?
Yes. A few of them, yes, I know the name. And I was in Lefkara last summer for 2 months, and I saw a few of those women, yes.
Well, thank you so much for showing us the needlework here.
Thank you, Mary.
And also for bringing your beautiful embroideries this evening.
Thank you.
John, were you pleased with the documentary this evening?
I was very pleased. I got to learn a lot. My grandmother had explained a lot to me, but the documentary had explained a lot of the history. I was very happy about it. Thank you so much for doing it.
Now, you also explained to the audience this evening that the Lefkara embroideries just part of the tradition in Lefkara. You do other things. You want to tell us once again?
So it has a very rich history of silver work. If you go there, you can see the amazing creations. They will build trains, anything you can imagine. And it's done using the same artwork, I would say, that they build the Kendimata with. Also, in Cyprus, in Lefkara, we also are known for our lukumia, or Cyprus delights. And
Go ahead.
And also, in Lefkara, we're also known for having a piece of the Holy Cross, which brings tourists from all around the world.
So, and I also would like to thank you for bringing some of your embroideries from home.
By my grandmother. The very large tablecloth was built by my grandmother. It was meant for me when I was married, and she made one for each grandchild, and that was given to me by my mother when I got married.
It was your diary?
Yes, it was my dowry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Judge, thank you so much for honoring us with your presence during each and every new event we're hosting with CYPRECO. How did you enjoy this show today?
I enjoyed it very much. I was very fortunate to having been in Cyprus many years ago and buying a beautiful tablecloth of Lefkara lace. And I went back later and bought a table runner. And my grandmother, whom I never met, when I was born, sent me lace. One was in a form of a bib with my initials and cut out, and the other one was a yard's worth of handmade crocheted lace, and I still have them and I cherish them. So this was very interesting to learn about those who went to Egypt and Europe and sold them. I just think that was a beautiful time that the people showed such energy and such initiative.
So Androula, first of all, thank you so much for bringing those exquisite embroideries and the beautiful dress. How did you like the event tonight?
I love it, and I wouldn't miss anything that you do. Not even your TV show, your radio stations. I don't miss nothing. I come from New Jersey, but I come willingly, and I live so happy.
So what was special about the documentary tonight? Did you see anybody that you recognize in the film?
I didn't recognize anybody, but it made me cry because I am Cypriot. I was raised here, but just to see Nakuso ta Helidonia, it brings me back. We're Cypriots, and I love you for trying so hard. I'm sure it's not easy to bring all these events to everybody.
Thank you, Androula. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
CYPRECO of America is an established, non-profit, Queens-based 501c3 cultural organization with an ongoing vibrant presence in New York's cultural scene since 1979. For 35 years, CYPRECO promotes with great devotion and commitment the rich heritage, history, folklore, and culture of Cyprus and Greece. CYPRECO is also a co-sponsor of the highly rated bilingual radio program AKTINA FM on WNYE 91.5 in New York. For more information, visit cyprecofamerica.com.